evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to Season 14. Once you've got qualifying, then the main 1 hour race. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Sim Racing Alliance. And this is where it all counts. As all eyes go to the light, and we are racing.
He brakes late, almost takes out the car ahead of him.
He's getting a tow, a flash.
Argy right on the exit, rear end squiggle. Who's going to get the move done here around the outside?
Oh, dang!
Byron ran it so shallow there, and this has become a 4-car battle. Game of inches as the BMW is in the paint.
And we're off and away for SRA.
Good evening, SRA Nation, and welcome to round 7 of season 15 for Division 1. I am Stephanie Fisher. I will be joined in the booth with Ilpo Ruotsalainen this evening. Your normal broadcasters for this season is having some difficulties, so I'm making a return for today. Let's get on with it. We are going to be at Kyalami this week in South Africa, one of my personal favorite tracks. Really looking forward to this one, as it's a track that I love driving on. It's a track I've loved racing on. It's interesting. It has different elevations and fun turns, and it's just, I don't know. It's a track that I have always loved. So looking forward to this week. And I will move on and we'll take a look at this one while we're talking about Kyalami. I have still yet to learn what turn names are outside of the numbers I see on the screen. So I am going to ask you guys to be patient with me in that way. And since I haven't been driving, the few that I did know are starting to exit my brain bank. So anyhow, I will do my best with this one. At the start finish, we have a quote turn 1, which is not really a turn. It's kind of a bend in the track. And the first real turn is labeled as turn 2. Almost like it's not really a hairpin, but kind of a hairpin. It's like a really wide hairpin. But then you start going into 3-4, which is an uphill turn series that yeah, brain new vocab. Then 3-4 uphill turn series, and then going into 5, which is kind of, you know, when you're driving on this one, I feel like that turn feels much wider than it looks like when I look at this track map. But that entire series of 3-4 setting into 5 is super important, as we do have a short straight between 5 and 6. 6 being Sunset, which is one of the few turns I can remember. So we get to Sunset, which is a really fast right-hander, really super fun turn. Can have see some good action in here. Actually, see some good action on probably all of these. Then you come into what feels like a teeny tiny little straight before you hit turn 7, the left-hander. That seems a bit tricky to me. It's one turn I think I've always lost time with. Not too bad though. Then go into turns 8 and 9, which are a downhill turn as you come through 8. It's like a downhill into 9, sweeps to the right. Big place for people to accidentally oversteer as you're coming out of 8 or going into 9. But we have faith in everybody never making a mistake here tonight. So 8 and 9 going to be perfect. Great turn. There is a short straight going up to 10. Another great spot for getting some action in here, maybe getting a spot or losing a spot as you hit the turn 10. I'll put 10 and 11 together as a really big long hairpin thing. Really tricky turn as you're going from 9 to 10. It is uphill. You come around 10 and you're going to go downhill again. So you have this elevation change. It's going up in and then down out. And it's a 12 is, it looks like a lot more of a turn on here than it kind of feels as you're going down. You're going downhill, you're going nice and fast. It's full throttle unless it's raining. You get to 13, 14. 13 is a bit tricky. You really want to set up nice to get through. I don't know why they call 14 a turn. It's like a bend in the track. 15 is more of a bend in the track unless it's wet. And then, oh wait, no, 15 is not a bend in the track. 15 is, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, cheetah. Which?
You are correct.
Yes! I remember too. This whole place. Cheetah, which has this really, really fantastic, like, sausage curb on the inside. I say that with my tongue on my cheek because it is terrifying to go through this turn. This is a turn that looks way tighter in the car than it looks like on that map. Maybe because, you know, you're like the elevation thing, you're coming up a hill and it gets kind of flat and your visual makes it look like a tight turn, and you've got this giant sausage. If you touch it, you have a very good chance of getting punted off into the ether. But should you make it through nice and snappy, then you're going to come into the last turn of turn 16, which is a hairpin. Of course, incredibly important to get this right and get an awesome exit, because that is going to lead to not only your start finish, but also throughout the race, the longest straight of the whole track. And now that you've joined me, Ilpo, do you have anything to add?
You got it pretty well. I would comment on some of the not really a corners. Yeah, they might not feel like a lot of a corner in a GT3 car with a lot of downforce, but they might actually be quite realistically proper corners in some other types of cars, which is usually the reason why they have corner numbers, even when it feels kind of weird.
You are so correct in that assessment. GT3s are pretty much primarily the majority of my experience outside of playing on some Mini Coopers in another game and like 3 attempts at racing in a GT4. Attempt is really all I can say. I never got the hang of that. But we will move into our driver standings to kind of get through them quick before they get out there and getting into their qualifying. Do you want me to take care of this, Elpo, or do you want to go over our driver standings? I think you've been here throughout the season.
Well, you can take it.
Okay.
I might add a few comments after, but...
Sure, I got it. Gotcha. So currently in the top of our driver standings is Mr. Jeremy Mercer for TSE in a Ferrari 488 with 480 points. He is followed not too far away by Tiago Dinarte in a Bentley for Please Brake Turn 1. Very well named. Only 32 points behind. Not unsurmountable, but there are only a handful of races left here. He is then followed by Renato Dornelles. I'm sorry if I got that wrong. He has 438 points, so not very far from Tiago. He could lose that spot if he's not careful. I'm going to quick go down to our silver drivers. Eric Marecki is currently leading the silver division with 343 points. He is followed by Joris Butkus with 257 points. And behind him is Guy Manperson with 227 points in total. Going through it kind of quick because I want to get out to their qualifying before they get too far into that. Team standings currently is held by TSE with Jeremy Mercer and Jordan Nixon. They have 799 points. They are followed by the NWSR Daddies in a Lexus with Kevin Blanchette and Andrew Rados with 732 points. Right behind them, or behind them is for Madhouse Racing, Sons of the Drift Gods, Jeff Spengler and Calvin Lau in a Lexus. 2 Lexus. Is it Lexuses or Lexi or just Lexus? Anyhow, those are your current top standings for the team series. And I am going to hop out to the track where our silver drivers are getting warmed up out there. And I'm going to fix your view so you don't have all that ugly stuff on there.
So one thing that those standings don't immediately tell is that the drop rounds are currently quite interesting, especially Mercer's lead is actually slightly stronger than it looks like on pure point standings, because he's not only leading the championship, but also his worst score is better than anybody else in the top 3. So his lead is potentially stronger than it looks like. That is even more true, I think, for the team standings, where TSC has better drop rounds than the P2 team.
Very good point. I need
And
people
Silver,
who are smart.
taking a quick look, Silver is looking quite firmly held by Eric Marecki, but because of the nature of Silver, where they can, let's say, steal points from the gold drivers, it is still possible for anything to happen.
It is. And yes, again, thank you, Elpo, for that information. The data numbers that I'm really not good at. As Joel Moffitt comes in for our current P1 with a 141.435 on his banker lap, and we'll see how these guys make out. He is.
I would definitely expect to see 140s even from the Silver drivers.
Yeah, I'm betting they're gonna. Almost everybody I see up here is green on their Delta, so they're just getting warmed up. I'm expecting that it will get a bit faster yet. Let's see. I would like to. Whoops. So I have a few of my camera views that are a little bit wonky from what they're labeled on Race Control. Every once in a while, I will warn you that I end up with something completely different than what I would like. Hopefully, I will either get it fixed or remember which ones are which in the future.
It is also noticeable
Just
that
FYI, we can't hear the game on stream. Thanks.
Okay, no problem. I see why. You can now.
So what I was going to comment on is that we actually have a much higher attendance for this race than the previous round, maybe even the previous 2 rounds, if I'm not mistaken, with 32 drivers currently on the server.
Oh, nice. That is a nice attendance. Well, there's a, okay, so that was, well, they called it turn 5. This would be our coming into sunset. We'll take a nice look at sunset on here. Put Joel in the hot seat. And we have no, Jay Kloss, I'm not sure what his first name is. So Mr. Kloss has gotten our first sub 41 with a 140.942, is currently leading our silvers. But not by much. That's a thread. So he is currently up. Somewhere in here, I have a really nice camera for looking at liveries. So this is the one bonus of my camera views being a little bit wonky is I get this really nice one, nice side view of these liveries. That's pretty colors. I haven't gotten to see D once, so. Yeah, Jess, it is always one last time.
So far, it's looking extremely close at the top of the silvers. Currently 4 drivers within 110.
And that's awesome. I love to see it. It holds nice promise for the race itself. You know, hopefully we'll have some good battles over this 1 hour race.
So we have almost 3 drivers within a tenth, with Klaus being just 2 milliseconds off from that cutoff. 5 drivers within 2 tenths, and 7 drivers within 3.5 tenths, and 11 drivers within half a second of each other, and people still improving significantly. So it looks like a really close fight for who gets the silver pole.
It is. I'm excited. So currently watching Joel Klaus. He is 2/10 up. He's been a healthy 2/10 up, and while it may not sound like a lot, he is just 1/10 and 2/1000 away from Guy Van Person, so taking the P1 spot of the silver division. And he's really been holding this delta that he's got quite well. And it looks like I haven't even cursed him that much by saying it. So he comes up to the last turn here. Down to that start finish straight. He got a okay exit, but it's enough to take P1.
He's an absolute mad lad driving that Lambo with TC off.
Oh, is he driving it with TC off?
Yes.
Oh,
He's been
that
driving.
is...
I think he's been driving TC off the entire season. Even in the wet races, I think he was on TC off. You kind of have to in that car to be competitive at the top, but that's still quite impressive.
That is amazingly impressive. It takes a lot of control to not have an oopsie like that in that condition. I mean, I know I've seen, like, sometimes people will flip it off for a short portion, but I have not heard, like, known of people just driving the entire thing with it off. Wow, kudos to him, holding the best lap so far of a 140.747 in that Lambo. Yeah, only one Porsche in the race tonight. Keith LeMay, who I believe has driven the Porsche the last several seasons. I don't think I've seen him in anything that's not a Porsche.
I can't remember seeing LeMay in anything else in the Porsche.
Yeah, and I think even before he was in... I want to say he was not in D1 a few seasons ago, and he was driving the Porsche back then too. Now, John Crown here in the McLaren is 3/10 up. Well, close to that, give or take. If he can keep that 3/10-ish, then he could take the P1 position from Joel.
Marecki managed to get between Manperson and Moffat.
Oh, he did, and we missed it, or I missed it. You didn't miss it.
And that is actually incredibly important for whether the silver championship gets decided in this race or not. Actually, I do not see Butkus. So if Marecki actually just needs to get the decent points haul. Oh, and Crown takes the silver pole.
Crown takes silver pole. So let me see if my little eyes can find our leader out there. And so first car out of the gold drivers. Trying to pick the right one. And it's not this guy, it's this guy. Kevin Blanchette, I believe. So this is, I think, in his Alexis. We're still out on the warm-up lap, I do believe. So this will be their first banker lap. Let me see, I'll take this one. Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on there. Come around sunset. This is almost holding on with like bated breath to see what our bankers start at for our gold division drivers. Our best silver was with John Crown with a 140.667. I didn't get a chance to spy on what they were putting in practice this week. Yep. So we had low 140s in the practice server this week. Let's see what we get out here. As Kevin brings that over with a 141.8. Van Last shortly behind him with a 141.2. Anthony Rados with a 140.97. The rest
It's
of this...
very difficult to do well on your first flying lap here. You need almost a lap and a half to get the tire pressures and temperatures to come fully up, so I'm sure they will do better on the next lap.
I'm sure. I'm seeing Jeff Spangler hit a 140.8 with this, with his banker lap, which, as you said, it is, well, I would say normally it's to bring up the pressures, but I just noticed this is a hot track. The weather down in South Africa is 28 degrees Celsius with a track temp of 35.
Well, I mean, 28 isn't that hot. It's a nice warm day, but that's I would say that's like what it is. But
Yeah.
yes, it's definitely. And I was going to make a comment on the time seen on the practice server. It is possible that some people have been running quali fuel on the race practice server, and because the race is set to start a few hours later in virtual time, I do believe it's going to be slightly cooler temperatures on that one.
That may, and it's a good point that may contribute to it. They are coming in pretty snappy. Handful of the guys came in under 141. Anthony Rados now current gold leader with a 140.8. I'm sure that some of this will shuffle and change yet. Dan Cran takes the gold lead with a 140.6.
Only 3,000s. Oh, well, there it
Just-
goes. Mr. Spangler goes to the top.
He does. Look at that. The 140.5. That's his second lap out here, I believe.
And only purple in first sector.
Yep. Jeremy Mercer comes in just below. He's about just over a 10th off. But yeah, our top 5 guys are, well, 2 through 5s are all about a 10th between. So yeah, it's looking to be a really close race. I am happy. Dornalis in this really pretty purple McLaren. He takes P1 with a 140.5, so they're yanking those times down. Maybe.
Both Spangler and Mercer are significantly up on their lap times. Especially Mercer is over 2 tenths. Oh, he made a small mistake and lost some of it, but he's still up.
So right now I have Spangler at a 10th up. Mercer is just over a 10th up. Timothy Flamger comes in, takes it off with a 140.4. There's going to be a lot of shuffling, it looks like.
Oh, the Flamger is another madman driving the Audi with TC off the whole season.
Oof. You know, it's amazing how the evolution of the drivers over the past couple of years. Like, somebody driving with TC off 2 years ago was just like unthinkable. And now you've got, at least 2 guys that you have mentioned so far that are driving around cars with no TC. Nuts!
Well, there's a little bit of evolution of the in-game physics as well.
Yeah.
Driving completely TC off before the 1.9 physics would have been extremely difficult. But still, when it's necessary to be competitive, it is surprising the length to which people are prepared to go. So the way the standings are currently have very significant impact for potentially the team championship. The fact that both Mercer and Nixon are positioned very high in the starting order, if they can just stay clean and not get involved in any incidents. Like if these were roughly the finishing positions of the race, that might almost decide the team championship. It would be at least rather close to deciding it already. But we never know. This track is known for all kinds of incidents and issues.
It is. That there are, I think, a lot of tricky spots on here that make it interesting, but at the same time, to me, that's always what made it really fun and really enjoyable.
Yeah, it is extremely tricky track because you have to push really close to the limits, and pushing over the limits on this track in many places leads to a complete disaster. It's not just that you're gonna get the track cut warning or something, you're gonna just crash. That's no good.
Yeah, you're gonna be facing the wrong direction. That's not what you want.
So of the people who are still on a valid lap, Nixon and Rados are the ones who are improving, I think.
So this is Nixon. He's got a slight improvement. Rushovic just made an improvement, brought him up to P5. Danny Durant's is looking to make an improvement also.
Nixon lost all the time in the final sector, I think.
Yeah, he's currently sitting P9. Does have the best sector 3, I will note. And Calvin Lau is the last man standing out there. As he takes a big bite of grass, and he is off. So our current leader is Dan Cran with I forget people's names. Renato Dornales, Jeff Spangler, Timothy Flanger, and Anthony Rushovic. And we are going to do our obligatory sponsor read quick while we wait for them to get going.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high-quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT 3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specialising in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
And we are back. They are just rolling off the line for their warm-up here, pre-race, rolling around. Take a look at our lineup. Get that right there. So, Dan Cran is in pole position. Look at this. Really nice. Well, look at their liveries. Look so nice. And we've Renato Dornales in P2 in that beautiful rich color purple. I really like that. That's nice. Jeff Spangler back here in his Lexus is P3. Timothy Flanger in the Audi P4. Anthony Rushovic in the Lexus also. He's going to be in P5. Little Daft Punk on there. Gomar Wilson in this very, like, is that 80s or 90s? They kind of blend together for me. Late 80s, early 90s kind of looking thing. That's pretty cool. Tiago Donarte in the Bentley. Now, I believe Tiago was... Let's see, in the standings, yes, he is P2 in the standings behind Jeremy Mercer for the gold. He is 32 points behind those. We'll see. He could have an upset in this race and give Jeremy a run for his money. Speaking of, here's Jeremy Mercer in a very red Ferrari, being hounded by his teammate back there, Jordan Nixon, in a very red Ferrari. Kevin Blanchette behind him in the Lexus is P10. John Crown in a McLaren is the first of our silver drivers in P11. And we've got Andrew Radox in P12 and Alexis. As it looks like they're starting to bunch up to go to the start finish. We've got this quick Kelvin Lau in P13 and Joel Kloss in P14. Peter O'Brien in a Nissan holding up P15, followed by Mr. Sir in a McLaren. He will be followed then.
McLaren.
The old McLaren. Ho ho. That's so fun to see, like, these other models making it out there, being able to race and be, you know, maybe not P1 competitive, but yeah, they're competitive. They're holding their own in this division. So that's awesome. As they line up and it's green and we are go. Looks like Renato Dornala is getting the jump on Dan Cran and just cutting him up, and oh, that was a very unsightly turn one for Dan to have to experience. Awful. Renato holds it, and in the back now we have Jeff Spangler and Anthony Roshevic side by side coming into Sunset. It's like Jeff inches him out as they come into the next turn. They are closely followed by Tiago Donarte, though. The back is looking pretty good. I don't see any yellow flags. So unfortunately, I believe that Jeremy was the only casualty so far of lap 1. Although a massive casualty that we hate to see. In the back we have Danny Durant's Guy Manperson, Wilson, and Diego, and oh, that was not nice. We won't repeat that. And I'm sorry I spoke a little too soon about lap 1 going so well.
Yeah, it definitely didn't go all that well. Multiple very unfortunate incidents. I'm sure the steering team will have some words about that, but we will leave it to them and hope that people manage to recover and have at least some racing.
I hope so. I mean, Jeremy, it looks to be... Is it Jeremy that got murdered in the beginning? Timothy Flanger?
No, that was Dan Cran.
Dan, okay. Oh. This poor man. Oh. I don't know that he might have... That's a turn where that can happen to you all on your own little lonesome. I'm not sure if he had help with that things planted into the wall or not.
No, Flamter made a mistake on his own. He ran wide and held the throttle, and well, when you're on the grass with no TC and a bunch of throttle, things are not going to go well.
So Dan Cran has opted to go right to pits. Not sure if he's just going to say, forget it, I'll drop this race, or if he is going to go back out there and see if he can salvage any of it. But as you had noted before the race, that, you know, Kyalami is a track that is super unforgiving when you do make a mistake.
Dan Cran is resuming the race. The question is, he might be immediately in the blue flag train. I'm not sure. He's really, really, really close in front of the leaders.
Well, we will keep an eye on him and cheer him on. As Mercer and Blanchett come into here side by side, and Mercer takes it. Nixon right on the tail of Blanchett after that.
It's very close to Nixon being able to also get past on the same.
But
Oh.
Rados is right behind him and poking his nose around.
Yeah, but the Lexus is never gonna be able to do anything in sunset. The Ferrari is a million times better car through that kind of high-speed corner.
That's a very good point. It is. It is. So, to remember these strengths and weaknesses of these vehicles. Lexus being fantastic on the straights, but not so fantastic in turn.
We have Wilson in the pits. I'm not sure if he actually drove there. I think he might have just RTG'd.
That would be unfortunate. I know Wilson, I believe he was involved in some of the earlier mess. Because, yep, Dan is out there. He's going to see what he could do with this. As you see the little rear end go swinging out. And he's right in front.
Dankran definitely repaired damage in the pit stop. His stationary time was 64 seconds, which is way too long for a normal pit stop.
Yeah, that hurt. That hurt. But massive kudos for him for going back out there. See if he can hold out in front of Dornalis there. Or if he's going to get past. And that might make a difference for him whether he...
Well, the real problem for Dan right now is that he's not able to stay away from Donnells. And as soon as he gets blue flagged, he'll have that one lap, unless he can break the blue flag. And I'm guessing he'll be able to break it a few times, but once it becomes a solid blue, he'll only have one lap to let the leader by. But when he does that, he's probably gonna immediately get blue flagged by the next guy in the train. And then he's just gonna be constantly blue flagged and losing a lot of time, letting everyone by. It is very unfortunate. If his pit stop had been, let's say, 10 seconds shorter, he would be in a massively better position for recovering something from this race.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on him and see. Hopefully, he can something can be salvaged. So Dan had a very unfortunate incident going into turn 1. It really got knocked around. He's been in the pits. You know, he came back. Oh, that's not very nice. Take a look at that. What happened here? Going in side by side did not work out well.
I think Nixon hit the sausage curb there. Not like fully hit it, but slightly hit it enough to bounce him wide, which resulted in the contact.
I mean, you don't have to hit that sausage much to get thrown out a bit.
Especially in a mid-engine car, you really don't want to be touching that curb. It's bad mojo.
Very. And yeah, it's a feisty race today. I think I wouldn't expect much less from this track. Our temperatures did come down from qualifying. We're at 26 centigrade air temp and 29 track temp.
Yeah, so the ambient temperature is 2 degrees lower than it was in qualifying, which would definitely make the lap times a little bit faster.
Marecki and Laz up here doing a little bit of fighting. Looks like Marecki got out on top. Laz is right behind him though. Everyone looking to make a move. Oh. I always get nervous when they look like they're coming into Cheetah side by side. It's just...
Oh, yep. Well, I mean, you can do it side by side if you trust the other driver and you're already fully side by side. But since there's barely any slowdown on the corner entry, you can't actually try to stick your nose in unless you're already fully alongside.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna say, it's not impossible.
Oh,
It's just
Spangler went.
not right. Ooh,
Spangler went wide. And
Spangler
Anton
did
is
go
through.
wide. Let's go take a look at that. That is for P2. Probably backed it up a bit too much, but this is such a hard turn to get right. You really can't see that outside when you enter the turn or as you're coming through till almost till you're there. He went wide, gave that spot up to Anton, and he's gonna have to work hard to get it back. Dornelis is out in P1, although he doesn't. He's got almost a 2-second lead. I wouldn't call that necessarily comfy.
Well, so I would have called it comfy until Anton got past Spangler, because that lead was built on Spangler's pace, but Anton seems to be faster than Spangler. So, and actually looking at the last lap times, Anton was slightly faster than Donnell's. So, yeah, it's not a massive lead by any means.
It's not. Anton currently has the fastest lap of the race, 141.18.
Oh. Doug and Simon side by side.
Whoops. That's not the one. I'm sorry. There we go. That's the one I wanted. Doug and Simon were side by side, and Brian Anderson right behind them, catching up as they battle. They slow themselves down battling. It's giving Brian a chance to get in there and join the fray.
Doug must have gotten a really bad exit from the final corner because he was ahead earlier, and the McLaren isn't exactly known to be the fastest car in a straight line, generally speaking. At least not against the Lexus. So I'm guessing Doug must have made some kind of small mistake on the exit from the final corner.
Yeah, I mean, and this is an easy track to make those mistakes and just lose oodles of time in the process. Like, Durance was trying to get a move there on Nixon, but couldn't quite get that done. Take a look up and down. It looks like Rushevic has about a half-second lead on Spangler up ahead in P2 and 3, so I don't expect that he's really battling it out with them.
Yeah, lap times at the front are extremely close together. We're talking less than half 10 between the top three.
Oh yeah, it's insane. It's like Gomer Wilson takes fastest lap with a 140.9, so our first sub 141 in race lap.
Yeah, Moffat decided to bail out and pit early, which is very... undercutting is very strong on this track because overtaking is so difficult, and obviously better tires allow you to run faster pace, and when you get out from the queue you can run your own natural pace and not be stuck behind other people, so we'll have to see how that plays out.
Yeah, you do have to be a little crazier than the other guy. Or just make sure you get a really stellar exit on some of these spots. You see, I would be wondering... I can't recall how this track was on tire wear. If it's really hard on the tires or...
It's not super hard, but also it's not one of the easiest either. There's a fight between Queso and Manperson.
We're gonna watch Flamger, who is also part of this fray. So we've got Manperson, Queso, and Flamger right there looking to take advantage of this as they go into that horrible, horrible spot and they make it through. Well done, guys. Folks are having a fantastic time. But it looks like Queso is... Nope, he's still chasing down Guy. Oof. Oh, little tap puts him out into that grass, but looks like Queso gets back on track relatively well, doesn't lose too much spacing. Flamger and Simons now. Whoa. There's a great livery on the McLaren. Looks like being told Peter O'Brien snuck past Blanchette to take P7 while we were down here watching these guys battle it out. A couple of big groups. So for between where we're at right now, P18 down to P21, all very close. As Mitchell takes the spot from Timothy and hits a curb. That was less than ideal, but everybody gets back on track and Nixon pops into the pits. Gomer Wilson still holding our fastest lap. I wanted to come up here. Klaus and Rados are having a nice little... Yeah, I guess it was the Dougie version too. And Anton's fan base has hit the chat. Where is he? Oh, he's up in P2 right now.
Yeah, it's still extremely, looking at the lap times, the top three are still extremely close. None of them can really pull away from the others.
No.
Or close on the others.
I mean, Dornelis, yeah, it's still a 2-second gap, which was, I think last time we looked at it, it was about that.
Yeah, I think their average lap times over the couple of past laps are within 1/10 of each other, so
Yep.
none of them can really do anything.
They're just holding on and hoping somebody makes an error. Brian Anderson poking his nose a little bit there. What is the gap to the guys who have pit? And that's true, they haven't lapped Dan yet.
Yeah, Dan has just barely been able to stay out of the blue flag range from Donnell's.
But he has been able to stay out, so we're happy to hear that or see that from him.
That is actually extremely crucial for his race result. If he manages to stay away from the blue flag range until the leader's pit, that's going to make a massive difference for end result. It's still not going to be a superb result because you spent almost 30 seconds extra in the pit lane repairing, but I mean, that's the difference between getting any result and no result.
Yes. So Mr. Sir is currently about 34 seconds behind Diego, who was the last of the non-pitted cars. I'm not sure how to calculate what Bosley wants to know. If that's fair. Maybe that's what he's asking for. As Anthony Rados slips past Blanchette, Jeremy Mercer goes into the pit. But yeah, they're seeing these guys trying to work the undercut. John Laz goes into the pit.
I think this is a pretty good time to hit. If you're going for an undercut, it's early enough that you're going to undercut somewhat on the people in front, most likely. But it's not so early that you're gonna really struggle on the tires at the end of the race.
So I'm trying to remember who was our guy in the old McLaren.
That would be Mr. Sir.
Mr. Sir. Okay.
Yes, he's basically being forced into that by his teammate who wanted to drive that car, who isn't even in the race.
Who isn't even in the race. Michael makes him drive the old McLaren and then doesn't show up.
Yeah, that's kind of been the story of the season. But I had to give it to them. Both of them have been quite impressive in that old car. It is not easy to drive fast.
And as we speak of that, Mr. Sir here trying to hold off John Laz and Nixon. Both of them in the Ferrari and doing a stellar job.
Well, both of them in a Ferrari, but not the same Ferrari, because
That's
Nixon
true.
is, of course, in the old 488 Evo.
Now, my understanding was that the 488 is actually pretty darn good here. Or can be.
Yes.
As it used to.
The 488 Evo has always been extremely strong at this track.
I mean, they almost settle out and then they get tight again, just waiting for someone.
So I'm sure no one is surprised, but the highest trap speed at the end of the main straight is held by Kelvin Lau in the Lexus. I'm sure nobody's really surprised by that fact.
Yeah, 488 was almost fast enough to make me agree to do a 9-hour enduro at this track, and luckily Fosley got ill, and I got out of it, as I do not enjoy that car at all. But some of these guys are, and they're doing pretty darn well. Calvin Lau, Klaus, and John Crown all opting to go into pits. Klaus, our current silver leader in the race. And Crown is right behind him in the silver, so that'll be interesting to see where they pop out of there. Try to catch them on that exit if we can. If I can, not we. If I miss it, it's all my fault. Spangler is gaining some time on Anton Rushevic in here, I see. He's 3/10 away.
Anton must have made a mistake, because the gap between Donnells and Anton has grown quite significantly, while the gap between Anton and Spangler has decreased quite a lot.
Ooh, and look at that. Crown gets out. Looks like John is getting out just before Klaus, which would swap the... Klaus is a drive-through?
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Oh, Anton pops into the pits. I got all excited for a second. I saw them like... I saw that Delta go away and... No good reason. So now that we have a bunch of people in the pits, everything else is spaced out except for this little group down here. And there's a little group just ahead of them also. We have Nixon, Crown, and Klaus battling a bit here, and just not very far in front of them is Eric Marecki, Mr. Sir, and John Labs. They're making themselves their own little bunch. You can kind of see them up ahead there. So it'll be interesting to see if these two bunches come together and make a great big bunch. Or if people decide, well, I was going to say people decide to pit, but these guys have all pit except for Klaus, who needs to serve his drive-through that he just popped in for. So Dornalis is still out front. Oh, O'Brien is, he was a temporary yellow flag. He was just touched grass, but stayed forward. John Laz getting awful close to Mr. Sir there. So our race leaders have pit now. Jeff Spangler, Tiago Denarde, and Morales are all in the pits. We will check to see where Dornalis comes out. Everybody else. Late start. Anthony Rados is our current race leader, but has to pit yet. Of those who pit, Renato Dornalis is coming out and still maintaining his lead. My race control and ACC are not agreeing as to who came out behind Dornalis. But back here, we have a battle with Jeremy Mercer and Tiago Denarte brewing, and Gomer Wilson right behind. There we go. Man Person and Diego popping into the pits. Only have 3 guys out there yet who need to take care of that, and not even 30 minutes into the race, and almost everyone's got their pit done.
Yeah, like I said, the undercut is generally the better option if you're stuck in a queue. I mean, if you're stuck in a queue, it just is the better option.
Yeah.
So for the vast majority of these drivers, it's going to be the option they are going for.
It looks like Anthony, Rados, Simons, and Carpenter are both come to play it a little more traditionally, perhaps, or they all have clear space and they figure why not. If they pit, they may end up in with a bunch of other people, and that might not be so beneficial. You can really see Mercer in. We're on board with the, not on board, we're sitting on Gomer Wilson's hood somehow. at these speeds. And really see Jeremy Mercer there putting a lot of pressure on Tiago Donarte. So that's a Ferrari on Bentley battle. The only thing I can remember about a Bentley is they just seem to be really wide when you try to pass them.
We have 2 out of 3 remaining who hadn't done their pit stop in the pits now.
In the pits. All right. Almost
Chris
everybody.
radio is gonna come out is the question, I think. Quite far down.
Yeah, he's coming out currently P10. Iris is cheering on Anton, so we'll give her a nice little view of him driving around. Let's see that pretty livery. Nice colors. Rushevic currently holding on to P3. He's got some space behind him to Jeff Spangler. There's 1.6 seconds and about 3 seconds away from Dornellis, who, with that whole pit stop, seems to have gained himself some time back to P2.
Out of Donel's, Rusevich and Spangler, Donel's had a slightly better pit stop.
Take a look at Jeremy Mercer again here, still putting pressure on that Bentley. Yeah, not finding a good opening.
We also have a massive queue forming behind Simons for P21.
Yeah, I was looking, we've got that one, and we've got also back here at P12, Mr. Sir almost back to Danny Durant, so 13 to 17, and Simons 21, 22, 23 with a battle, with a 3-way battle shortly behind them coming up too, so there's a lot to keep an eye on here. But John Last real close to Mr. Sir, putting a lot of pressure on that old McLaren. Mr. Sir, cool as a cucumber through there. No mistake.
And Nixon is just waiting for those 2 to fight to see whether an opportunity opens for him to just take both of them for free.
Yep. And then Crown behind him just thinking, I'll just follow you right along there, buddy. Kevin Blanchette is behind Crown and out of the view, but not far away from him. Danny Durant's also not far from Kevin Blanchette. So, quite the train we've got going on here.
And for once, it's not the Doug train. That's been a bit of a theme this season.
Has it?
Oh yeah, Doug has been pitting quite early and jumping a lot of people and then holding them with terrible tires. But the Lexus is so fast in a straight line, it's extremely difficult to overtake.
Oh my, yes. And I used to drive the Porsche and I would see a Lexus in your rear view on a street and just go, oh no, oh no. So bad. In the middle, it looks like Kevin Blanchette decided he's not waiting anymore.
No, that was a good move. Very good move. Just sending it on the inside and going like, nah, my corner.
My corner, I'm done waiting. You made your mistake. And it's hard because there's so many cars in a row. I can't fit them all in the camera at one time. Bit frustrating. Right in the front of that train is Mr. Sir and John Laz. Just
Just to note, Mr. Sir has by far the worst tires of this bunch. He's been out about 25 minutes since he pitted. Everybody else has like almost 10 minutes fresher tires.
so. Is Mr. Sir holding everyone up?
I would guess if he isn't yet, he's going to be very soon.
He
With
will
those
be
tires
soon.
getting worse and worse.
Yeah, F7 space cam time. It did feel almost like that. So my F7 space cam is a little bit jittery. I don't have that smooth controller space of Selena. She's got that down to a science. Timothy Flamger in the back there, really looking to make a move on Queso. See if he can get done. Into, I think we're at turn 1 here.
Well, turn 2
Well,
technically.
Yeah, technically turn 2, that's true. But looks like he's gonna hold on to it.
Yeah, Flamger has been working on that for quite a while, since he got past Moffat earlier.
And Simon's now looking to take advantage of that. Well, John Laz made it side by side with Mr. Sir in here, but just looks like he couldn't get it done. So tight up. Mr. Sir, John Laz, Nixon, Blanchett, all 1/10 away from each other as someone goes off into the ether.
That's Blanchett.
Blanchett. So, unfortunately, I think it was evasive action. Believe he was at the back of those three.
I think he got caught out by how early everybody had to brake in the train and just had to bail out to make sure he doesn't kill anyone.
But it's, so, I mean, a respectful move. And it doesn't, if he had not done it and, you know, they got hitting somebody else or causing them trouble, and it's just going to slow you down more than what he did. I mean, he really just popped into the back of that train a couple seconds behind, but didn't lose a ton. Not like, you know, if something bad had happened. Not that that was good. It was better.
And he's also got the, he's definitely got the pace to come back and catch the train.
He does. So, Kevin, we're expecting you back in his group. Like,
Near
Brown's
the
gonna-
front, Mercer's been falling off from Dinarte. The gap is now over a second. While Wilson is still completely with Mercer. I think Wilson is significantly faster, but overtaking is going to be very difficult.
It is. I believe Wilson had the fastest lap of the race for a while. That's currently being held by Thiago Dinarte with a 140.585.
Which was Dinarte's last lap. He just took it.
Yeah, just pop that on there with a Bentley. Yeah, Gilmore's, yeah, he's staying right with Jeremy. And let's check where Our man Dan is still at the back, but he's holding on. And he's finishing his race, so I'm gonna give him a fat kudos for that.
Yeah, Dan might be able to overtake Kraus before the end of the race. The gap was almost 20 seconds a while ago, and now it's down to less than 5. So I do think Dan has the pace to get that one position, but that's about where it ends.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he... unless somebody... I mean, obviously, there's always the possibility of someone crashing or getting too many track cuts or whatever, but other than that, on pure pace, I don't think he's gonna catch anyone else except Kraus.
No, and he was, you know, it's not the first time I've seen someone go from pole position to the end in like basically what for these guys it's like either sector 1, we'll say. It's really unfortunate and heartbreaking to see. It's Calvin Lau and Anthony Rados at it again.
And there's the Tribe True for track limits for Diego.
First one of the night.
And he just left.
Did Diego bail after getting track limits? I'm gonna tisk him.
Yeah, he went wide on the exit of I think that's like turn 12 maybe. I don't remember the corner numbers that well. But yeah, he went a little bit wide, and that was the last straw, and then just came up. And I guess, I mean, well, at this point I would definitely have just driven to the finish, because I mean it's only like less than 20 minutes, so not a massive commitment, but also like realistically he's gonna finish last, so understandable.
Yeah. He could have given the spot back to Dan though. Poor Dan. Got annihilated.
Oh, I mean, he gave the spot back to Dan by leaving.
Yeah, that's true. It's very true. Good point.
And Dan is now less than 4 seconds behind Kraus and catching about 1 second per lap. But also he's been invalidating his laps recently, so he might also be getting close to those track cut limits.
Yeah. Denarde did make it, and he's currently sitting P4 with the fastest lap of the race. So not too bad.
Speaking of Denarde, Mercer's been catching back up to him. The gap was well over a second a few laps ago, but now it's back to just under a second.
Down here as Mac Simmons is looking for Fire Queso to make an error. In the front, things are, I mean, they're not super spread out, but nobody's really threatening anybody too much. Tiago is he's got Jeremy Mercer and Gomer Wilson both about a half a second behind each one. As Fire Queso looks like he makes a little bit of a wide there. They go through, they survive, but Max Simmons looks like he got slowed down there. Allowed Joel Moffitt to catch up and put him into a little Max Simmons sandwich.
Yeah, so he's in trouble for turn 2 though.
Oh yeah. Big trouble. Oh, unless we do that. Wait, but they made it. They're still on track. Max gets the spot so far, puts Fire Queso and Joel Moffat together. So teammates will
Also-
be chasing each other down.
Also, meanwhile, the Mr. Sir train is getting even crazier.
Look at this mess. In the middle, there we go. These guys, Durant, so P11 to P16, all chasing each other down.
So between Mr. Sir and the next car in the train, who's last, Mr. Sir's tires are 10 minutes older, but he has slightly better top speed, even without the tow, I think. So it's extremely difficult to overtake.
You can see all those cars behind him in that train as Durant's back there. Makes a move on John Crown.
Yeah, good luck with that, with the Lexus being much faster on the straight line.
Yep. And Blanchett in the Lexus gets back into this group where he bailed out of a possible incident and ended up falling behind. So he's caught back up and he's back in the middle. Yeah, see Mr. Sir up there with John last right on his bumper. Looks like he's going to try to make a move going into Sunset possibly, but nope. That just puts Nixon even closer.
Yeah, it's made extra complicated because these are all different cars and they all have different places where they are strong. So nobody really has like an overall advantage just everywhere.
Nope. And it's absolutely fascinating as this constant position changes here, or really close to it. Nixon now moving on Durant's, getting ahead of him. I mean, what a train. Trying to keep an eye up top. Denarte still being followed by Jeremy Mercer and Gomer Wilson, but still it's only a half second apart, though. All the actions here at the moment. Blanchett in the Lexus taking advantage of that straight and eking out Danny Durant's. So I guess, as you said earlier, no one really has an advantage. I guess the only advantage would be Blanchett in that Lexus, in that start-finish, like, straight.
Well, I mean, realistically speaking, everybody has an advantage on Mr. Sir on just better tires.
That's true.
But it's very, very, very difficult to overtake on purely that advantage.
Yeah. I would think maybe with that stretch that the Lexus gets a chance to really get its legs stretched out, at least enough to get that inside line if the person in front's not careful.
Something happened to Fernandez.
Oh no, Fernandez. Well, we'll take a look at what happened there. Oh, shoot. I didn't quite go back far enough.
I think he was in the second train that's behind Fire Queso. And then something happened. I'm not sure if he got hit or if he just made a mistake, but it did break up the train quite a bit.
It did. Now we only have Moffat, Anderson, and LeMay here. Queso is ahead by a whole second. Take a look up front for a little bit here. This is Tiago Denarte being followed by Jeremy Mercer and Gomer Wilson. They've maintained about the same distance from each other for the last, I don't know, since the pit stop.
I mean, Dinarte managed to pull away from Mercer for a little while, but then the gap closed again. And now they've been doing this formation flying for quite a while.
They have been.
I think Mercer might also be just playing it safe, because I think so. I know these TSC guys. I know that they won the team championship quite a few times, and I know they are very cognizant of the necessity to play it safe for guaranteed points for the championship sometimes. So Mercer might just be like not taking any risks and just be kind of like aware that as long as he brings in points for P5, he's still well on the way of winning the team championship.
And it is a consideration. It's not just about this one race. It's about all the points you collect over all of the races.
Yeah, especially when you're leading a championship. You're really just thinking like, do I need to push? Is there any reason? Like, does it matter if I give a few points here? You're just trying to manage and win the championship.
Yeah. And I'm not sure where the his closest competitors are on track at the moment. And that might be also, if they're further back, he's not worrying about losing points to them by being
So
P5.
the biggest challenge to the TSC guys winning the championship is either Blanchette and Rados or Spangler and Lau. And I don't think either of those teams is doing particularly well. Spangler is in P3, but Lau is only in P9, which isn't bad, but it also isn't fantastic.
And then Mercer's teammate is
That would be Nixon.
Nixon. Oh, so Nixon's behind last, though. So. So the
I would say Nixon is generally more under pressure to try to make a move than Mercer.
Yep.
Mercer has some really good results from the previous races as well, so he doesn't really need to try that hard. I think Nixon had an incident earlier in the race. I do believe he was quite a bit higher at the start.
Yes. I believe that Nixon and Mercer actually started almost together. I remember when we did the track walk, it was like one after the other of that red.
So checking where they are compared to their qualifying positions, Mercer is 3 positions up while Nixon is 4 down. And the biggest winner currently is, well, shared biggest winner, but I would say because he's highest up in the order, the biggest winner is Peter O'Brien, who is 8 positions up from where he started, and he's currently in P7.
Yeah, it's not like we've really seen Peter O'Brien like moving around a lot. He just kind of quietly ended up in P7 somehow.
Yep. He does have Rados right behind him, but other than that, he has a decent gap after.
He does. And look at this. Is Laz going to be able to get around Mr. Sir and keep that spot? I don't think so. No.
The outside just doesn't work in that corner. It just doesn't.
Nope. As Nixon and Laz go side by side now, a little bit of door banging.
Laz just absolutely not giving any space to Nixon there.
Nope. And they are tight now. They come for this straight. Blanchette.
And that leaves Nixon very vulnerable to Blanchette, because the Lexus is way faster in a straight line.
He is. As we see that, he gets you know, almost takes the overlap away from Nixon, but you can see him really suffering in that turn.
Yeah, the Ferrari brakes so much better and can carry more speed through the apex of the corner. So the overlap just doesn't give you the automatic overtake here. It's not long enough of a straight.
As fun as these guys are to watch, we're going to leave them alone, and we're going to go up and check on Rados and O'Brien, who we were speaking about just a little bit ago. We'll ride with Rados for a bit.
Yeah, Rados has been trying for, I think, like 4 or 5 laps really hard, but the problem for him is that while the Lexus is very fast in a straight line, the Nissan is one of the faster straight line cars as well. So he doesn't actually have that much of an advantage.
Yeah, I was wondering that because I do remember one of the seasons that I was running in Porsche, seeing a Nissan in my rearview mirror and seeing it fly past. Going, how did you manage to do it that fast on a straight?
Yeah, it is one of the faster cars in a straight line. And it also has, I think it has a better acceleration in certain speed regimes than the Lexus. Because the Lexus has a couple of, if you have to go slow enough that the gearing doesn't really work out for you, it doesn't really accelerate well until you get to the point where the power comes on and then it really goes. The Nissan has really good low speed acceleration.
Ah. Oh, as John Crown back here, we'll see what happened to him. Unfortunately, I think it's gonna be in and oh, that's significantly less than ideal. Definitely not.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit loose on the corner entry and had to slow down way more than normal, and then that just completely caught out Blanchett behind.
Yeah, and then that just really broke up that group significantly. They're not. Now I have to work hard to find them all. Before they were all together and bunched up nicely.
Mercer is right at the bumper of the Norton.
He is.
Also,
and
Spangler has been catching up to Rotovich.
Anton.
The gap
Yeah,
is close to less than a second now. I'm not sure there's only
3 minutes left. Barely.
I think there's 2 full laps after this lap.
So I don't see Spangler making that. It's just under a second. Rados and O'Brien. Rados is really close to O'Brien here. We'll take a look at it this way, just for fun. So I don't know if Rados is going to try to push it and see what he can do in this last couple laps. I know for some people it can be really tempting.
Mistake by Anton. Mistake by Anton. Spangler is right on his bumper now.
Oh boy. P2 and P3, I didn't say I didn't think Jeff was gonna really maybe quite make it up, but he did. A lot of pressure.
2 laps to go.
And this is a Lexus on Lexus battle. So nobody's got an advantage here.
Yeah, they also pitted basically 1 lap apart, so there's no massive tire difference between them.
Nope. Mr. Sir and John Ladd still going at it back there, though, of that group. they did end up sticking together. So Mr. Stir is still holding John up. And behind this Rusevich and Spangler drama, Thiago Denardi is under a lot of pressure from Jeremy Mercer. Gomer Wilson just hanging on behind there. Maybe hoping that somebody makes an error. Their battle lets him catch up. Who knows? Looks
Kind
like
of
Jeff.
surprisingly, out of these three, Mercer has the worst tires, but he's still hanging on there with Dinarte. And it's even more surprising because the Bentley is generally known to be very good on tires.
It looks like Jeff maybe made a slight error as the gap to Antine really picked up.
Oh yeah, it's massively bigger. Actually, Dinarte caught up to Jeff Spangler now.
So yeah, that would... Well, I guess we'll watch... That's our race leader. He'll be coming over the line soon. Not yet, but there. When he's out front, I almost always forget to really give him much time. And they don't have any challengers. Ooh.
Mareki is out of fuel. Mareki is out of fuel.
Oh, he's out of fuel. Okay.
He's waiting. Yeah, he's slowed down waiting for the leader to lap him so that he can finish the race. But he gave up. He basically gave up guaranteeing a win of the silver championship.
Oh.
With that mistake.
Oh no. And
He can still win the. He can still win the championship because Batkus is not here and no one else is really challenging for that, and he has a pretty decent drop round. But that's a major mistake. Very unfortunate.
That is awful. So this is our highest close battle here of Dinarte, Jeremy Mercer, and Gomer Wilson.
Donald's gonna win the race in about 2 seconds.
2 seconds, yep. As he goes by, they're saving our Mareki from having to deal with that too much. Rusevich takes P2. Jeff takes P3. Dinardi 4. Mercer 5. Gomer Wilson 6. Peter O'Brien and Rados. Nixon and Laz back here fighting side by side for P11. They're just right through there. Oof, little bump. Pushing him out. As they come to the finish. Man person comes through. I believe some people maybe are possibly hopping off on me. So it looks like Dornalis is won our race. Anton Rusevich got P2. Jeff Spangler P3. Thiago Dinarte takes the fastest lap. And I believe our silver winner will be Guy Manperson in the old McLaren. Go up here.
Manperson is definitely not in the old McLaren. But,
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I got confused. He's in the BMW. You're right. Forgive me. Oy. Yeah, so yeah, it wasn't working. My brain was saying stuff, and the brain was like, "This doesn't sound right." That is it. Great. It's a great race. Few rather unfortunate incidents, but overall, I really enjoyed that. What are your thoughts?
I'm just kind of dumbfounded by the fact that Mareki didn't have the fuel, and that might. I haven't checked the points because it's very complicated with the silvers because of the overall points being the deciding factor. But that might even open up a possibility for one person to actually still win silver championship, which would be huge.
Definitely. So that'll be it's still up in the air going into next week's race. You're gonna there's still like positions and championships to be won. So that makes it all the more interesting and fun. I'm gonna see that I have a really bad memory. I do take screenshots of all of the finishing. See if we can get anybody in for these interviews. They are not filling in, but I will take our P3 finisher, which would be Jeff, and attempt to yoink him up here. Hello, Jeff, and congratulations on P3. Welcome to the booth.
Hey, thanks. Nice to talk to you, Stephanie. Welcome back.
Same, thank you. I was like, hey, I get to interview Jeff again.
Aha. Well, hey, you're my lucky charm then.
Maybe. How's the season been treating you?
Well, it's been kind of a mixed bag. New car. Everybody loves the Lexus, and still kind of coming to grips with it. But it's a lot of fun, and yeah, I love this track. Absolutely amazing track. Can be a little unforgiving, and unfortunately, I found that out the hard way. Went a little off track, and Anton was there to pounce, and then he was just super consistent the rest of the way. And yeah, consistency was the name of the game. So I was happy to be able to keep Denarte and everybody in tow there, close enough, but also far enough away to not worry about too much. But I do want to say I am incredibly sorry for what happened to Dan Cran on lap 1. I have not watched it back, but looked like Renato moved over, and then there was a car to my right, I believe, and Dan just moved right across my nose. It looked like to me, so it's really unfortunate. I know he had great pace today. He came out of the pits and stayed out in front of us. So yeah, sorry to see that for Dan.
Yeah, it was pretty heart-wrenching for him in the beginning, but I do huge kudos to him for going back out there and actually just driving the race for the rest, in spite of what happened. And a lot of people would have just alt F4'd and quit.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really admire that about anybody that does that. I've been there. I think everybody's been there to an extent, and it's in keeping with the spirit of the league and what we're here to do to, see it through regardless of what happens. So, Dan's everybody's favorite admin, and it's easy to see why. He'll think I'm sucking up in case I get a penalty, but I promise I'm not. I mean what I say.
Ilpo, do you have anything to add or ask?
So, I want to know what happened in the couple of final laps. So, I saw that Anton made a mistake and you completely caught up to him, but then the gap opened up again. Was it just pace, or did you make a mistake?
No. Well, I made a mistake when I only went with 105 liters, so write that down and take 106 or 107 to be safe. Yeah, we noticed with a few laps to go that it might be close. And then I realized on the second to last lap that he was going to get around, and I think he made it with 3 seconds. So that's when I started to save fuel. And yeah, really unfortunate because, yeah, Anton had that little oopsie, and I was right there. And, usually it's going to take more than one lap to pass somebody. So you wouldn't have known. We'll never know what would have happened, but it would have been fun. And I wish we could have battled it out, but I was happy to be able to save enough fuel to still preserve the P3.
Well, yeah, so at least you didn't make as big of a mistake as
Yes.
Marek made.
Yeah, Eric. We like I said, we were in voice chat talking about it, and I don't know if I said I was fuel saving. I guess he and I know Colin were a little short as well. So I'm super unfortunate, but I think that might leave Eric a little bit more work to do to square away his silver championship. But Eric's had a great season. It's great to see him back and being successful. I know he's a lot happier about it, so this will give him a little more to keep practicing for.
He's definitely still. I think he's still even leading the championship because he had a pretty
that's good.
He had a pretty good drop round, and Butkus, who was the only real challenger, wasn't here and has already had a 0 drop round. So
Yeah.
he's now out. So I think Eric still has a pretty good chance of winning it, but now he definitely cannot afford to screw up the last round.
Yep, absolutely.
Well, Jeff, if anyone you want to give a shout out to?
The designers of this amazing track. I think it's like my second most lap behind Spa. It's so much fun. There's so much variety and there's good racing. It seems all the time. So love racing here. I'm looking forward to the final round. And thanks to you guys for bringing this to us in the booth.
Oh, of course. And how are you feeling about the next round?
Oh, Lexus at Monza. It's going to be fun.
Ooh, well, I probably won't be here.
All right.
But I will be cheering you on mentally.
Well, I'll take what I can get.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. You're
Bye,
welcome.
guys.
Bye. Okay. So next, oh man, everybody left. So Anton was our P2, yes?
Yes, he was.
Okay. So we'll grab him. Hello, Anton. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Congratulations on P2. How was this race?
Honestly, kind of a sweat fest. I think so. Opening laps, I was really proud of Dan. He got his first ever pole position in D1. Super happy for him. And then I saw the carnage that ensued ahead before turn 1 even got to us, right? And it's just I was really careful about being side by side through sector 1 on lap 1, especially because Jeff and I were pretty close together. And during the practice race, I knew I had pace on Monday, so I was just trying to keep my nose clean. Lo and behold, Jeff made a mistake, got passed, and I kind of just didn't look back after that. So the only real kind of iffy moment was the first 6 minutes where I got 2 track cuts, and I was like, I need to calm down a little bit. So apart from that, pitting was okay. That was also pretty close, but I think my pit entry was solid. And then I was just happy that I got out ahead of Jeff and was hoping to be closer to Renato, but he was just too quick today. So hats off to him.
Awesome. Anton, Ilpo, do you have anything you would like to ask him or ask?
So, were you worried? You made a little mistake, I think like 2 or 3 laps before the end, and Spangler caught right up to you. Were you concerned about that?
Initially, and then I realized that we're both in the same car, so he was going to have to be a bit of a lunatic to send it up the inside somewhere. So as long as I didn't make another mistake like that, I was going to be fine. So he also told me in the post-race chat that he was having fuel problems. So in the last 2 laps, he had to fuel save. So I guess that's something that I didn't know, but it ended up being my favor. So big sigh of relief there for me.
Yep. And he wasn't the only one who had fuel trouble.
Yeah, I saw that both Mareki and Colin, who were 2 teammates, I think the entire Madhouse Discord, apparently, after they joined the post-race chat, they were all saying that we all had fuel issues. So I'm glad that I was a bit safer. I took about 109 liters, which I think the optimal route would have been either 108 or 107, but I mean 2 liters isn't going to make a huge difference for me, so happy with it.
Yeah, that's the safe choice. When you're not sure if there's gonna be that extra lap, it's better to carry that couple of kilos extra weight rather than be short. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not really fussed about taking the extra bit. It all worked out in the end. P2 is matches my best result in D1. Last one came at Barcelona, and I think that race I probably had a better chance of winning. But I mean, I'm really happy, especially so I came back from Mexico last weekend. Didn't have the best of races, but that's what happens when you don't practice. And then Kyalami is one of my favorite tracks, and I was able to deliver today, so I'm extremely happy.
Awesome. How are you feeling about next week?
So I'm gonna keep my words to a minimum about Monza because I did some bop testing on my own in the Lexus without any weight, and I got pretty close to the go lap. So I feel pretty good. If I'm able to get the setup dialed down, just not get on my head about qualifying, I think next week will be pretty good. But we do have a few Lexuses, or I guess Lexi in this division. Mustang is obviously not as strong on the straight line anymore, so I think the race will ultimately be better for me than quali, as it usually is. But I feel good. I mean, last round gotta close out strong.
Awesome. Well, I look forward to seeing how you guys do. I don't think I'll be with you guys next week, but who knows? Stranger things.
Thank you
have
for
happened.
stepping in today. We really appreciate it from everybody in D1. So
Oh, you're really
good
welcome.
to see you back here.
It was fun. It was fun to be back and see all the names that I've gotten familiar with over the last couple of seasons. So
Yeah,
I've
for sure.
enjoyed it. Is there anyone
Yeah.
you would like to give a shout out to?
You know who I'm gonna shout out, right? I'm gonna give
but
a
you
shout
have
out to yeah. Big shout out to Iris, of course, and my dad, who's also in the chat this time. Usually refrains from typing, but you know, obviously the higher I finish, the more he's gonna type, right? So I mean, I don't blame him. But also, big shout out to my mom and my stepdad. They just got married last week, and the wedding was awesome. I will admit I cried a little bit, but you know,
Aw.
I'm not afraid to admit that. But yeah, it was a beautiful wedding, and I'm happy to be back here. SRA is always is a fun time. So thank you for streaming. Thank you for doing these races, guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us up here. I will return you from whence I grabbed you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You're welcome. You too. All right, Ilpo, I think time to grab our race leader. Winner.
Do we have him?
I do. While you were talking to Anton, I got him. So he's in a different chat, but I will bring him up for us.
All right.
Hello, Renato, and congratulations on a fantastic win tonight.
Hi guys. Thanks. Was a tough one.
Well, I mean, yeah, I bet. Tell us how this went, what it was like for you.
First in quali, I was not expecting to be in a good pace. I was not expecting to be front row, but I knew I have a good start in McLaren, so I jumped on the leader, and it made my race a lot easier. But I have to keep the pace all the time. Was trying to be consistent as hell to avoid everyone to get close to me, because I know McLaren has not the best top speed, and was praying for my will don't abandon me.
I did see someone in the chat mentioned you've been having hardware issues this season.
Yeah, it's not the best season for me because of that. Last season I had a internet issue, and this one I'm having problems with my wheel. But hope it gets fixed, and hope to be able to fight for the championship in the last race. Was not expecting that too.
There you go. Awesome. So Ilpo, do you have anything you would like to add or ask?
I don't really have any questions. I just want to say that you said that you were trying to be consistent, and you definitely were doing that. Like, out of all the top drivers, I think you were by far the most consistent in your lap time. So well done on that.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, it was great, and I really love that simple livery, the color purple that who if you picked it or somebody, it's just like it's really nice. I really like it.
Cool.
So, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to?
I just want to thank my team, Wilson, that's having some issues this season too. Hope that he will go better next time. But thank everyone.
Awesome. And how do you feel about Monza next week?
I passed turn 1. I think it'll be a good race.
That's true. It's always turn 1 there now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, good luck next week. You know, if I'm not here, then I will be cheering you guys on, and hopefully your wheel and everything works out. That you can have a great finish to the season. That would be awesome.
Yeah. I hope to be battling with Mercer because he's doing a fantastic job this season, and hope to battle with him and Monza.
Awesome. Well, good luck next week and great practicing. And again, congratulations on this P1 finish tonight. You did a great job.
Thanks a lot. See you guys.
Bye. Well, I believe that about wraps it wraps it up for us.
If we can we maybe grab like Guy Manperson here and talk about the silver side of things?
We should. I can. He's really easy because he's right there.
Hey.
Guy.
Hello. How are you?
So, silver win. Probably a bit unexpected, right?
Silver win because all the silvers died in front of me.
Well, so I'm not sure if you're aware, but Marecki ran out of fuel and had to basically bail out.
Yeah, it was. I watched him going across the line and felt really bad because I didn't even think he was going to make the line to be on like one lap down. So it was. We were talking about that and I felt really bad, and I watched the other silver in front of me die right in front of me on the exit of T1. Yeah.
So this theoretically opens up the silver championship, because if Marecki had finished where he was in the queue, he would have guaranteed the silver win already, and nobody could take it away from him in the last round. But now technically you do have that possibility if he has a bad result in next week's race and you do really well.
I don't think so.
I would say you would have to do really well, but the possibility does exist. Like, realistically speaking, it's possible. It's not like you would have to have a meteor fall on his house or something. So how do you feel about
that? I feel like I have way too many laps on Monza. I love it. I'm a weirdo, and every time we race there, I die. Last time I didn't even make it to the braking zone in T1 before dying, so I'm not going to put any faith in my result there. I just want to go have a good time. And Eric's pretty fast, so I'm fairly certain that he's going to do well there.
Well, still, the possibility does exist, and I'm sure
it does make it exciting, and at least we all have to actually race hard to, just in case something happens.
So maybe you start in the back so you can avoid the turn 1 and hope that they actually have a bad turn 1 and you can do the same thing.
I have to try and do well in qualifying, and then I probably won't, and then people will make fun of me because of the amount of laps I have at that track and not doing well in the SRA. But I don't know why. I have fun there driving it, so I just want to go there and not die. As long as I don't die, if I suck because I'm not good enough, so be it. A good race in SRA is worth it.
I agree. Well, good luck next week. Hopefully
Thank
it
you
does
very
go
much.
well. You know, you guys have a great
Yes.
race and enjoy it and all that other good
I
stuff.
think it's going to be a D1 race next week is going to be pretty fun to watch for people.
Good. I hope so.
Yep, definitely hope that it's exciting and fun to watch.
Awesome. Well, is there anyone you would like to give a shout out to while you're here?
Shout out to I feel really bad about what happened to Dan. His lap in qualifying was so amazing, and hearing the call about him dying in the voice chat was I felt so bad because I thought that he had the pace to do something today.
Yeah, that was
So
tragic.
I think he's a fellow pub lobby enthusiast, so I think he has a chance at doing pretty well next week. So shout out to Dan Cran. I hope he gets a good result next week.
I do too. That's a good point. Hopefully, I love you all, but we're gonna hope that give Dan all the good mojo for next week to make up for this tragic start.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Fire So we went too wide through Cheetah and didn't kill each other, so that was some good racing with him.
I think we might have actually gotten. Did we get
Yeah,
that one, Elpo?
I don't remember. We did see some action through there side by side, so we might have.
Yeah, it was lap 8. We were just watching it in the race review when you guys pulled me in.
Oh,
I
awesome.
made a huge mistake in the S's, and then he got alongside, and then we were just so slow the second half of the lap that we lost the entire gap. The cars ahead, we just had way too big a gap. There was no chance of either of us catching them. But we didn't kill each other.
And you had fun, right?
Yes. Scary
Okay.
fun. Too wide through Cheetahs. That's iffy.
Okay, well, that's important though. You enjoyed it. So
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for the commentating.
you're very welcome. It's been a pleasure. Yeah. Good luck next week and in practice, and hopefully that it's a great race for you guys.
Thanks.
Have a great night.
Thanks, you too. Bye.
There we go. Okay, now I believe we're finished up for the night.
Would seem to be so.
All right. Well, I will back to this calendar. As you've heard a few times, we are at Monza next week for the final race of the season. I hope you all join us. I don't anticipate being here unless I need to be, and then I will be. But Elpo, it's been a pleasure hosting this with you this evening. And well, my evening, I think you're middle of the night somewhere.
It's actually evening for me as well. I'm US West Coast.
Ah. Well then, evening for both of us. It's been a pleasure for me. We will be I have to do the other spiel. Hold on. So, you can join us tomorrow night. You will see Divisions 2, 4, and 6 will be racing. 2 will be featured on Twitch and possibly YouTube. 4 and 6 will be over on YouTube. And if you would like to see either Divisions 3 or 5, those will be replayed on YouTube. You can catch them at your leisure whenever you'd like to. Watch those guys race. I'm sure that they were just as exciting as our D1 race. Hopefully the beginnings were not quite as tragic. And we will see you next week.